Okay, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I don't even want to do this video. You know what I'm doing right now? Mary Jane. That rosemary plant that I have in the fridge, I keep crumpling her up and smoking her. She's just like weed. I don't have to buy any weed. Well, there ain't no weeds in my garden anyways. Just Mary Jane. Leave Mary Jane alone. Right there, Tiger. Right there, Tiger. I'm telling you, man, you smoke Mary Jane, I swear, you smoke Mary Jane, and I go down a rabbit's hole. Now, the question is, I was sad last week. That's what this video's about. It's all about being sad and being happy. Last week, I'm sad. I've got my mind working. I've got people saying, watch out who you talk to, because they might not be the right people, and they might hurt you. Well, no one can actually hurt me, and whoever's going to hurt me, regardless of what goes on, they're going to hurt me anyways. Mentally, not physically, mentally, all kinds of crazy things you see in dreams. Things like that happened to Nelson Mandela. Crazy things that shouldn't have happened. Get taken away for no reason at all. But I don't think that's going to happen to me because it should have happened already. And when I mean taken away, what I actually mean about taken away is when you reveal the truth must be hidden. Now, I have to go and listen to the Snowden videos, and I didn't hear anything in the Snowden videos other than to watch out, and I have to watch it again, exactly, just to watch out, and just nothing that was really hard stone, nothing like mine. I mean, I don't want to say it this way, it was 134 AC/DC, but I'm telling you, I add up the numbers from 1 to 4. That equals 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 10. Then I multiply 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 1 times 4, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 3 times 4. I don't double anything up because I'm not looking for the double world. I'm not looking for the twin towers. Remember the word 20? What do you think of twins? 10, X and X are twins. Planet X, man has got a twin. I, Captain, let's go in on the 3 little pigs. Well, why? Because one is holding the bacon and the other's holding the only 2 sausage links that you'll ever get. Because the 2 sausage links is 1 and 1. The bacon connects the 2 sides. If you stand up the bacon and the sausage, you get I and H. Hi, everybody. I'm 9. Hi, everybody. I'm 8. Now, today, you know what's funny? I drew cards. How to come out to 8 and which one of the 4 cards, because you have to separate. In every card, because there's 2 on this side, 2 on this side. Anyways, let me jump off the subject. 1 plus 2 equals in the 3 zone. But once you create the 3 zone is in the 4 zone played. So man plays from Mars. Mars is the sandbox. Now, I'm not supposed to get into this. This is supposed to be about that's it. I won't do anymore. One of the reasons I won't do anymore, not to mention in one of my videos yesterday, you can see on this side of me, okay, or on this side of me, there was a smoke coming off. There are definitely some kind of spirit. We know the wolves howl at the moon. We know the pigs and the wolves are in a little fight together. Why are they in a fight together? Because they're both being manipulated to work against each other. Do you know in Islam, I'm just going to jump all over, I'll huff and I'll puff. Well, if you're going to huff and puff, why don't you pass it over to me, then start huffing and puffing and blowing it away? Blow that shit into my place. But huff and puff, wolf, wolves. 5, 5s. Huff and puff, cuff, cuffs. The hands, the power bracelets, well, the hands is the top part of the egg. Have you ever seen what the cuffs look like in the picture cards? And chicken is number 53. Pumbaa is number 53. Bacon is number 35. West or whatever is, I got everything. And in fact, the Twin Towers being 110 floors, it's exactly with the bottom floor, because you have to get out, because you have to put the base down, so you need at least 1 floor for the base. We're not talking how much, we're talking about the 1 floor for the base. The Twin Towers is 37 times 3. I forgot to mention, the highest number in the gematria scale is 35 in black. It's in the center world. In the center world is 2 black, is 8 black. You got 10 black. In the center world, okay, is 2 and 8, you have 11 black. 2 and 8 is 10, and 11 is 21. You have Venus, and you have Neptune. And you know what's funny about Neptune? In the French language, Nep, okay, forget about that. It says N-E, and at the end of Neptune, it says N-E. N-E is 14 and 5, is 19 and 19. The moon of the moon, the Mars moons are all talking about Neptune. We're definitely somehow hung upside down by our feet, and we're pulled in by the electronics of the magnetism that connects to our soul through the blood, through the red blood. Why do I say that? Because the chicken who goes to the top of the church, he's got a red hat and yellow feet. Somehow he has to have an orange body. Yellow and red make orange. You sometimes see on the turkey, at the bottom over here, it's blue. And in gray, it's like blue. When I look at gray, it looks blue through these yellow glasses. Wow. Mary Jane. No wonder Jesus hung out with Mary Magdalene, because she was a jail for his mind. I still think Mary Magdalene and Lucas Films, Judas, Lucas, all the same. For me, it's all about Lucas or Judas. Das Autos. Autos in English says ark. Judas is the only one who says das. He also says Jew and UJ, which is 21 and 10, which is 31, which is part of the NIBIRU wording. Why? Because NIBIRU comes from 7 times 3, 7 plus 3 equals 31. It equals 10 and 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 1 and 0, 0 equals 15. 1 and 5 is 6 equals 7 and 3 again. Right? J equals 7. U equals 3. Again, Nibiru, and even oh my God, the Zoltic, and even their writing, the Zoltic or the T-Zold or whatever it is, it connects in there because T20 actually recreates 15 because the 0 becomes a 6, it becomes 26. It becomes 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 becomes 8 and 3. Now you're connecting to heaven, which is a 4 and 4. How do you create the 8 heaven? Is because on the 8 card, you have 1, 2, 3 sets, and then 2 in the center. But the 2 on the side have nothing to do with the top and the bottom. But they do have something to do in the center. So that 8 card has 2 here and 2 here on that 8 card. Make 4 and 4 8. Barack Obama is the 8 heaven. He is the runner of the 8 heaven. And you know how I know that? Because the 26th and 27th area in Monopoly, we have to remember where it is in yellow. Somewhere in yellow, in the yellow section, just after Vent, Nor, Ve for Venus, Nor or Ron. Oh, I don't like to say that because Ventnor says Ronov, to renovate. Now, I'm not sure where I am, but Rubik's Cube, okay? 3 times 37 is 111. 3 times 37 is 111. And the Twin Towers, counting the roof, is 111, 111. 16 times 111 is 1776. Put them together, it's 222 by 8. 4 and 4. Now the question is, am I going to get mixed up? Am I going to go too quick? Blah, 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 blah. Let's go back to the beginning, then I'm going to come back here if I remember. If I go down the rabbit's hole and I have starting to lack a little information and I need to build up my information, if I go down too deep, I want to do a video, I want to come on and explain it, then all of a sudden I don't have enough information because I need to collect and I want to do the proper work. So I feel sorry for myself a little bit inside that I can't keep you on that strung out over the numbers. So 37, okay, which is 35 and 2. 37 times 3 is 111. So you need 37 Rubik's Cubes, okay? You need 37 of these to create the Twin Towers. Now there's 54, okay? But we're going to take the 37 like this. 37 times 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 9 floors per cube. What about the floor in between? 10, 11 floors per cube. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 floors for every single cube. Is that the way we look at it? So we have 10 stories high, 110 floors. Now if we want to divide it out and make it bigger, we'll say this, 3 times 37. You need 37 of these to make the height of the Twin Towers. And you divide it up by 3. So you have 3 wide by 37 high. 111, 111, 111. 333, part of Lovejoy. Now the other thing is, we're going to turn it around and go on this side. So we'd have it on this side, and this side, and this side, and this side. 9, 9, 9, 9. That's 36. Don't count this, and don't count that as 18, because they're the floor and the roof. And you're going up. Here's your floor. You're counting it from the face. So when you count over here, a total of 9, excuse me, you count 37 by 3 to the top, 111, 111, 111. This is the same floor, but it's still the face, 111, 111, 111. 111, 111 is 999, and then you turn it one more time, you have 37, 37, 37, which is 111, 111, 111, which is 3, 3, 3 times 4. 4 by 3 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 1 and 2 is 3, 1 and 2 is 3. 12, 12, 12 is 36. 1 and 2 is 3. This all talks about 3 and 7, which is part of NIBIRU. And the Mayan is huge. And April and August and May, because May and March is the in-between of 4 and 8, which is August and April. April is the 4th month. August is the 8th. That makes 12. 6 times 2 is 12. May and March become 3 and 5. That becomes 8. 6 by 2 and 6 plus 2 is the letter T. You creates with the 0 becomes the letter Z, because 0 equals 6, because you're on the 2nd level, you're above the electronics of 5, you become 6. So you have T, Z, you have, excuse me, let me try and think of this. You have 20, that equals 26, which equals to 12, and which equals to 8, which makes your 20. Your 2, okay, inside that 20, your 2 is 2, but your 15, okay, becomes 15. Leave it at 15. The 0 at 15, 2 and 15 make 17. 1 and 7 is 8. 20, the 0 becomes 6, becomes 26 and 8. That means we have from 17 to 26. 17 and 26 is the Q letter and the Z letter, and they're taken off from the telephone, and on your debit machines, okay, Bitcoin debit machines, it's put on the number 1. Then you have number 1 in the series of 3, 4. That's AC/DC put on the 1. Number 26 becomes 43. 17 and 26 is 43. We're talking Barack Obama all over. 1 and 7 is 8. 2 and 6 is 8. That is H, Z, Q. Everybody knows every time you come to 3 and 4, it makes a 7, and a Z is 2 upside down 7s reversed on each other, because we're like chickens being hung by our legs upside down, and they're off with our heads. Why is it off with the heads? Because it's the spirit communication that takes part within our 2 ears. So they're always cutting our heads from the rest of our body off inside whatever manipulation they're doing towards our minds. Now, I did May. Now May is 3. 3 and March is, well, 3 and 5 between the 2. 3 by 5 is 8. 3 by 5 is 15. Back to 0 again. 15th letter is 0. So now you have T, Z, O, L, and it has something to do with the words in the Mayan counting for their months. Imagine that. And when we count with the Mayans, we're always counting their months and their time. So it has a big thing to do with our time, with Z, with H, with T, with old, Zolkin, and I'm sitting here all alone, and I need to remind, and people need to bang off of me. I have to, you know what I'm saying? Don't think I'm crazy for doing that, please. I have to show you the reality of what this is. These people who see the other side. Now, if we're talking about Islam, you want to talk about Islam? Why don't we say this? I'll huff and I'll puff. Well, like I said, if you're smoking the shit, let me smoke a little with you. But the huff and the puff is not what I'm talking about. It's the word isle. Island. The island of puffin' stuff. The island of H and P, the heavens of spirit. HP, horsepower, thoroughbred, standard bred. Numbers and colors and relations between them and their number within the colors, and the association between the different systems, because we're more than one world here. That's why I made a video. If you go back to November and look in my videos, you'll see that I talked about the temperature, and I started talking about Saudi Arabia. All of a sudden, it snows, because underneath the Baltic, between the Mediterranean, there's something deep down underneath. That's why the desert is there. The desert is there because, let's say, it's bald. It's bald because the brain that's deep beneath the earth needs that heat off the sand. And it needs those winds out of Cairo and Bangkok. That's why they sang the song. There's every single song they ever sang. Every movie, every cartoon, and every comic for every letter and every piece of equipment, especially when Samsung, son of Sung. Why is it son of Sung? What is it about Samsung? It seems like Samsung runs anonymous and is on our side. What about bell? Bell to ding dong to ring a bell. I-N-G, ding, D-O-N-G, dong, Hong Kong, King Kong. I'm going to look a little bit more into my stuff and see what I come up. But Samsung also, at the same time, you want to see something about Samsung? I got to show you this. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Hey, Ponzi. Fonzie. Ponzi scheme. Fonzie scheme. Hey, what's happening, Richie? The Cunninghams. You think they were rich? Do you think it was Richie? Who was it? Richie? And who was his sister's name? Mr. C. Creation Cunningham. Mrs. C. Well, I knew Mr. and Mrs. Hippie. How come the Cunninghams weren't hippies? Because it was after that. Mr. Hippie and Mrs. Hippie. Well, welcome you. You're now divided. Here's the word. 7357. 19, okay, becomes 1 and 9 is 10. 0 becomes 6. 1 and 6 is 7. U is 21st letter. 2 and 1 is 3. N is the 14th letter. 1 and 4 is 5. And G is the 7th letter. Jesus was born. Okay? Jesus was born. Okay? 80 times 47 equals 3760 minus 3 BC because of Mrs. C, Mrs. Cunningham, makes it the time of 5770. It makes the time of 3757. And now we're going to be in 5775. This, the 75, is number 38, which is Hoover Dam. This becomes number 38, which becomes 31 plus 6 man. Where? 7 times 3 is 21 plus 10 is 31 plus 6 man. 7 and 3 is 10 plus 12 is 22. 12 and 10. Which way do you want to go it? You want to go 14 and 8 is 22? I don't know which way and what I want to do, but we're coming into 5775. The French roulette is 37. The English roulette, North American, is 38. Stand on guard. Ard, ard. Ark, 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 ark. Hey, Putty Cat, we got a cat that came over here. Hey, cat. Do you see between the cat why my camera's not good? Do you know why? Do you know why my camera is good? Watch this. Well, I'm going to show you something. Now, you see this? It's because my light is lighting up what's in the air. When I turn it around, it's just the right light so that you can't pick up that spirit that hangs around us, that hangs around you, or that hangs around me, or nothing is true, but it hangs like a tree in the air the way it is. This is a cobweb of spirit in this world. Like I said, the wolf howls at the moon because the cube that is inside the moon that moves the ocean, okay, it needs to communicate with the moon where the cube is. That's why the moon is round, because the cube fits in the moon. The sun is some kind of LED lighting of fiber optics of some kind. Do I think I know? This thing will tell me that this to here, there's only 3 colors. 3 colors join on here. What's the colors that join? White joins yellow. Okay? Red joins orange. Now, let's see if this is true. We're not going to look. We're just going to keep turning around. And you remember what I said? Okay. Okay, now let's do it again. Red was orange, right? Red is still orange. Blue, we didn't talk about, is with green. Yellow was with white. They never change because the core of this is connected together, putting them constantly in that position. So we know constantly that these colors will always be the opposition or the complement of each other, unless this white goes in this way and out this way. It hits red. This white goes in this way and out this way, so it hits orange. So white hits the orange, makes it to a lighter orange, and the red hits the white, makes it into this orange. That means the light would come out this side. You understand why? The yellow will hit the orange, okay, and what will come out from yellow and orange is because the yellow hits the red. The yellow and red create the orange. So this is not a stupid thing. I don't believe, oh my God, yesterday it was in here and today it's in here. The question is, are they trying to attack me? Or is this natural what's happening to me, all these crazy pains? Well, we all have our own Rubik's Cube in us. In fact, there's more than one. There's at least 2 in the hips and 1 in the head. That's why the hips are wide apart. In the hips, our X is like this. But in the head, our X is like this. When we walk, our X is like this. Have you ever seen us walk? The man doesn't walk like this. Man walks like this. You ever see him put... If man didn't walk like this, how in the world are you going to get that foot forward? Put 1 foot forward. Are we all in this together? I'm so excited if this works. 6 hours of videos that didn't work. I'm going to show you how Pumbaa is the ruler of this planet. I'm going to show you how Islam, who prays to that box, the box that they rebuilt, of course they rebuilt the boxes, because the big bad wolf came in and blew down the other boxes. Is the wolf bad because he blew down the box? So the Mayans came here, left the black box, then some other family of Adam came here and reconstructed a house around the box. Now they made a box out of brick, and the last pig was about the brick house that they couldn't blow down. But Mary Jane, or I like to call her Wendy, I don't know why, but every time I see the Little Red Riding Hood in the bush, and she sees the wolf, and the wolf wants what she's got. Why would the wolf want an apple? The wolf wants the big apple. Why would he want the apple? When the apple, who Pinocchio was supposed to present to his teacher on the way to school, in which he never got to school, in which Snow White apparently ate the poison apple and had to be kissed by a frog in order to get up again, because the prince was once a frog that he kissed and woke up. So the frogs are the French. They hip and they hop because they have to jump over certain numbers. Remember, in the roulette again. In the roulette, number 2 is center. Number 8 is center. Number 11 is center. Number 17 is center. Number 20 is center. Number 26 is center. Number 29 is center. Number 35 is center. These are all black. Okay? These are all black. These are all center. 2, 8, 2. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. Okay? Equals 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 1. It becomes 1 and 2. This, how this becomes 3. 3, which is in, there's 3 level sections over here. This one, this one, this one. When you add 1 and 2 here to go here is 3. This one is only connecting for the ESP. This is for the mind and the moon, this whole area. That's what I believe. This is for your mind, the X, okay? But you go over here as number 4 because your mind's in the sandbox. The worst you can do, does man play from the center or does man play from the ends? Which end does man play from? The center, they have red between each one of them, but the center keeps saying 2, 5, and 8. Why? Because the 5 is the red. So we get 2, 8, and 2, which is 1 for 1, which is 3 times 47. 3 and 4 equals 7. 3 plus 4 equals 12, equals to number 19. We're back on the moon again. 6 by 47 equals 282. This is time heaven. 282, 2 times 8 is 16. 2 plus 8 is 10, equals to 26. T, which is 20. 0 equals 15. 1 and 5 is 6, makes it Z, 26. You see how we just got back to the same numbers? Another thing about 20 is you say twin, it says twins. Twin T's, 20 and 20 in the 2020 world. 5 times 4, 5 times 4 equals 2020. Here's your 40 for Monopoly. Which part of the trains are not there? You see, in Monopoly of 40, we have to divide it up, right? So we have 2 sets of trains, L, and we have 2 sets of trains, L. This is the way the game goes. Here's your go, and here's your free parking. Why? Because this is space and this is space. This is where I figure the Suez Canal is, right here, between this space over here. That's why it's snowed. Okay? They never get to see the closed sky. They get to see the real hot world, the other world. Why? Because the inside of Jupiter is warm, and the inside of Saturn must be warm, or one of them is cold. We get to see either this way or this way. This one is go to jail, this one is in jail. This is 9, this is 11, this is 9, this is 11. Back to this. 2, 8, 11, 10, 21, 38. 38 is on the low side, and if you want to count 38, one of the ways to count 38 is to count 28 and 10. Why? Because this number and this number is time heaven together, 28 and 10. But 28 goes over here next to 29, the birth. 28 is over here. 10 and 28. 10 and 28. The letter J and the letter S. This is Jack's spirit. This is within our hearts. This is the Jesus. Okay, number 38. 3 times 8 equals 24. 3 plus 8 is 11. Equals to 35 again, connecting to the chicken, the pig, and the bacon. Okay, 20 plus 26 is 46, which is Israel and Z and T again. T and Z from the same thing at the beginning. It gets repeated over here. 20 becomes 26 because the 0 becomes a 6, so it's 26, 26. 52 is man. We cannot talk about the middle of the piano because we're no longer the middle of the piano. This would be E, D, E, and this one over here would be E and E. The two E's connect over here on this side of the piano, 26. Okay? 26 out would be D. The 26 one, no, it's not true. A, B, C, D, E. This is F. It's E and F that connect over here, which would be 11. 26 and 26 actually equal to 11 because the center is 24 and 28, which is man and the cat. So anyways, we get 20, 46, 56, 66, 75. Right away, we get 75, 85, 95, 105, 110 stories of the Twin Towers, all black in the center. How much better can you get than that? 0 becomes 6. You get 1 to 16. If you add up 1 all the way to 16 is A to P. That means the total is 136, which are the laws of God. If you add up Q, which is number 17 after this, it becomes 135. This says Ace, 3 and 5 is March and is May. And again, number 35 for the pig and the chicken. If you take the bottom part and you add it up here, like I said, 35, 45, 55, 64. 64 here, 46 here. 64, 46 by adding up pairs of numbers. 20 and 26 is 46. 29 and 35 is 64. The same thing stands for Israel. 0 stands for Zion. So you have 46 and 64 is 110. Plus the lower side of the board, 120, 133, 143. The total is 150. That's your egg. 0 equals 6. Now we have 56 for the wolf. 56 for the wolf. 56 for the wolf. 65 for white. 65 for 7. And you know what's funny? Is that the red sun and the white flag of China and the Canadian maple leaf is both red and white. If you total them together, 65 and 27, it makes 92, which stands for yellow. There's something about yellow. We did not go hog, house, 68, says planet. Pig, let, 37 is Nibiru. Planet, 68. The motor, cycle, and the piston is the 1 pi stone. Man is the 1 pi stone. 1 pi, because we only have 1 point on the top of our heads. In order to connect to this 1 point, you divide it this way, you divide it this way, you end up with 2 points that go into our shoulder, and divided by here, there's an in point going up, 2 in points going out. And then it's the opposite for man, 1 in point going up. The other thing I wanted to mention is pi. When you take the number for pi, I keep coming up with creatine. Creatine, create 8, create 9, create 10, the crustacean. REN says the wren, which means the queen and the fox they hunt. The fox is orange with a white stripe underneath. He's just like a skunk. But if you take a look at pi, which is 3.14159265, pi says N is 14. O is 15. C comes. It says to create. No. To create the yellow, 92 yellow, you must have the wolf. The white, look, white, 7, and wolf is 65. Yellow is 92, which is created by two words as red and white together creates the word and number for yellow, and yellow, 29, is the number for black. So you create the yellow-white wolf. If you put wolf and fox together, you get 101. One declares himself, right? Isn't it true? The wolf declares himself. He goes, ow, 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 ow. Oh, there he is. He's on top of the mountain. Thurston, third. Howell, the third. From Gilligan's Islands. The bowel movement, the howl movement. Wolves, things that change letters and letters that recreate. If we say fox, fox in a short count is 18. 5, 6, and 7. Because you can't have 6, 6, and 6. 6, 6, and 6 is an expression of three worlds. So you need the electronic world of the fox. And that's why the colors change on the fox from yellow and red over to orange because of those three numbers. And it's 5, 6, and 7 of the short count. And the long count is the Einstein theory because 9 times 5 is 45. That's fox. 5 and 9 is EI creates N. From 7 by 4, which creates the three numbers total in the same because they are, I guess, the syllable likables. End up saying Einstein in the word. And wolf is creation. Here's the numbers for wolf. And this over here creates 11. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 11. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 11. So this becomes actually 5, 6, 5, 6. This one totals out 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals your 2 and 3. And then 2 times 3 is your 6, and 1 plus 5 equals your 6. And everything in wolf recreates itself. The short count of wolf, okay, is number 20. 5 plus 6, 11. 3 plus 6, 9, 11 inside the wolf. Why? This is 38. This is your Hoover Dam. 18 and 18 match. 38 does not match. 38 does not match because this is creation of the two worlds. This is perfectly divided. This is the cube, more of the cube, the fox. That's why, because of the faces. You can't use all the faces because one of the faces is down. You can use the point up this way, this way, this way, and this way, but what's coming from down to go up comes from down here to go up through here, out through this here, out through this here, out through this here. Something to do with the back of your head, I don't know. But it might be because it goes around and then out, it goes around and then out, which way it is. And the total of this is 20. So 20, 2 times 6, 2 plus 6, or 20, right? 0 is 15. 2 plus 15 is 17. You're back to 8 again. 17 to 20, from 23 to 26. Do you understand how it keeps going? These three numbers keep going, and these two are Barack Obama, and these two is the Q and the Z, and it stands for number 15, because the only way to get 20 is 4 times 5. There's no other way. 4 times 5 create 20. And the sun is number 54. Sun's up. Do you understand? Sun's up. It's from all 4 sides. You get to see the bottom of the sun. But that sun ain't real. A lot of things aren't real. There's a lot of things I haven't said. We're at 33 minutes. There are things that I did not mention. The stairways. How the stairways work. You see this one is down and this one is up because it's a grinder. You walk on this one, by the time you get to the last step here, this one is turned around to the other side. And you kept grinding all the way to the top, just like an auger system. So if you want to count how many stairs to heaven, well, if you start from the middle, you might be already at the ground floor. You might be going down to heaven, so I'm really not working on that calculation. 168 hours in a week. 68 is planet. 68 was the other number we used. The sun needs radiation of the LSD lights for the fiber optics in order to patrol the earth the way they do. The steeple, the staple, the stable, the top of the church, and the chicken, and the red herring at the top of his head, because that red spirit is bringing something in from up there. That's why they put the chicken at the top with the yellow feet, because the yellow goes down to the soul of the ground. And what happens when you don't eat chicken? It turns green. Not really sure which way to go. There's so much stuff. That's why I get down because I see it, and I'm always hoping, oh, I hope everybody sees it like me, and it's so true, but it's only true in the numbers. Only because my numbers. But you know what I'm starting to see? I'm starting to build one of these in my head, where I'm almost able to completely take everything and shove it in a category and memorize what it is. We're able, because this is an interchanging puzzle. Just like the Sanskrit of the Mayans, if I would flip through the pages, you would start to see the reality. What? Reality? Oh, I'm nuts. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bipolar. I must be crazy. You become bipolar and you become crazy. Like, I wasn't crazy the day before, but now I'm diagnosed as bipolar. You're crazy. Because I can enter into a different world of the science where it's all fiction, science fiction, or the reality of the fiction is 100% of the truth. It's what we believe, perceive, and understand and see. What is real, what is not real. There's so many things, and so many things connect to Jesus. You know why? Because the Son is number 54. Jesus is number 74. 5 times 4 equals 20, plus the 74 of Jesus of who he is makes 74. 37 of Nibiru, plus Jesus 74 makes a 111 atop of the Twin Towers, 37. You know what I'm saying? 10 more, which is man, makes number 47, which is time. It also means death, according to the Rothschilds, well, royalty. Which way do you want to look at color? I'm not even sure where to go with this. Golds, beavers, I'm just going to go big bad pigs, controlling the cats, the Asian television cartoons. Another thing about Big Bad Wolf, I already did this in a video, but big is 7 and 2, which is 9 times 8, the highest you can get. 2 and 7 is the highest you can get in the first world, because after 2, it's creation in 3. You went 1 and 2, created 3 into 7. 7 and 7 is 14, plus 2 is 15, 16, plus the 1 I didn't show you is 17. 7 and 2 is 9, 1 and 7 is 8. 8 and 7, 17. Remove 1 and 2 and recreate 1 and 2 inside 8 and 9. 1 is the heart or the blood, the other one is the moon. So now we don't have any moons on Mercury or Venus because, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I have to put the enthusiasm in it because that's the way I see it. If I just tell you a story, yeah, guys, yeah, the turkey's up there. No, I'm the turkey. Well, I got 3 strikes. We do know about the 3 strikes that happen in the 10th frame. They all count in the 10th frame. In fact, if we started bowling from the 10th frame and bowled the 10th frame, the 9th frame, and the 8th frame, starting from the other side, instead of going 7, 8, 9, we're going to go 8, 9, 1 now. But instead of going 8, 9, 1, the one we're going to go is the 10th frame, the 9th frame, and the 8th frame. So this is what we're going to end up getting. First of all, there was a train they showed on Google. Okay? There was a train they showed on Google. It was like this. This had to be 30. This one was 60. This one is 90. This is in the 8th frame. This is August. The first one is April. We have 3 and 5 on each side of this, which is M&M, March and May. But if we put April in between, it's March, April, May. Ma'am. But this one, we get 7 and 9 in between. 7 is July. 8 and 9. We get jazz. Jazz, mama. Hey, mama, let's sing some jazz. The 7th letter is a G. The 9th letter is an I. You've got G-I, M and M. So how would I don't know how I would do this, but if you go A and I and J and G, because the French, they exchange the J for a G. So now we know July, which is now the 7th month, is the 10th letter, but it's changed for a G. We have JG 107 or 1007 because it's from the other side. You want to see 1007? See that R? There's your 70. There's your Reich letter. 666 is part of this, plus 70 is 88. Okay? 1007, okay, and 107 is 2014. But July is in the middle of the month. It says 14. 14 is made up by a 10 and a 4. You make up a 10 and 4, and it says October 4th. So the relation of July is now October 4th. July to August, August to September, September to October, 3 months. July minus 1 is June 4th. July minus 1 is May 4th. July minus 1 is April 4th. So it's April 4 and October 4, but this would have to be the 10. Why? Because you're starting from the beginnings. From the beginning, you have to add on 6 for man to the beginning, but here in his death, you don't have to add on anything. So this becomes the 4th month of the 10th day of the 10th day of the 4th month, all starting from July. Okay? In which J and G come together, and that's why, instead of it becomes 2014, but it's October of 2014, which, okay, J and G 1007, this 0 becomes 15, and this 0 becomes 15. Okay, this becomes 1667. This is Lovejoy. Add on 333 is the year 2000. This is the Y2K. Why Y2K? There's many ways I showed you, but if we're dividing it, it becomes ace all the way to ace. 2K says 2 to king. 2 to king is a total of 90. Why? Because ace to king is a total of 91. That's why we have 90 over here. We have 2 presidents at the age of 90. And not only that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 presidents at the age of 90, 2 presidents at the age of 68, and 1 president leading as 1 in 5, leading the train. Makes up for every single strike we have. Now, if we bring in the rest of the strikes starting at 90, the balance is 210. 210, which is 2, 1, and 6, because 0 equals to 6, and 206 is 9 times 24 hours, which makes 216 hours, plus 24 hours makes 240. 240 makes 246, 64 or 46, which also 2 times 46 is 92 yellow, but 46, 64, like I said 10 minutes ago, my God, does time fly. And I'm loving it, but I'm hating it because I'm going to have to come on down, because if I stay too high, I'm going to want to come back and do another video, and I'm not prepared. I need someone to, I need someone behind me just doing this. My hair looks beautiful. Eh? I got no hair. I got no hair. And sometimes I get scared, and I go to sleep at night, and I feel like the whole world's going to collapse on me, because I know the design of this entire world. Well, I know the basic design, and I know it's scary as shit, because this really ain't no game. This whole world can collapse on us. If they remove spirit from this world, take away the moon, the whole thing closes in on us. We become like, you remember when they went to the center, Density or Dynasty or Dynasty, or this movie on the core? They went to the center of the world, and as we got to a certain area, things just crushed and crushed everybody. My God! Not only that, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 10. Then 1, 2, 3, and there's so many numbers. 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 1 times 4, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 3 times 4. And that equals to a number which I didn't even do. And Barack Obama, August and April and May, and it's just, oh my God. And the 3 little pigs, and the DNA, the identical twins, 20. The identical twins, the Twin Towers, 37 by 3 is 111, 37 by 3 is 111, 222 by 8 is 1776. 37 and 37 is 74, which is 1.5 times 74, which equals 111. 37 is the Nibiru, the last part that's missing from the top. Have you ever seen the finish line yet? Well, the finish line comes when that planet or whatever comes from space. Somehow, whatever's coming from space is A, no good, and good. Because you know what I think it is? I'm going to design something for you right now. And this is scary as crazy scary. I did this design already once. They designed some kind of other cube to reconnect the 2 sides of this world, to have full control over everybody that's on this world. And it has to be stopped. Although we always know we're going to win at the end, our key thing is not to suffer. Our key thing is to love, to have love forever. Don't forget, it's Winnie the Pooh who got stuck in the hole because he ate too much honey, thought his life was sweet. Where else am I with this? This is from the Mayans, and this comes out from the numbers. Don't forget, 5 and 4 becomes 23, and 32 is 55. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6. Why? 3 and 4 is 7. 5 and 2 is 7. Another thing we want to mention about this, in the 10 world, this would be 6 and 5. Now we're talking about the wolf. 6 and 4 is 10. 5 and 5 is 10. Now in the 13 world, you're talking about 9 and 5. Now you're talking about E-I-E-I-O. You're talking about the extremity of 9 and 5 equaling to 14, which the payoff in the odds of this are 7 to 5. G and E, General Electric. It's all about the electric, you know. It's all about the electric. Take away the electric, everything stops. Who's in control of the electronic key? Not only that, the electric, but everything that runs the computer system, or anything that runs matrix, or anything that runs anything on the computers is all electronic. Can we get the electric without using G and E and use it some other way and connect with each other? Not on the system we run. They own the system we run. We have to be able to run on natural power, going to a natural star of some sort, intertwining us between the stars and an electronic power that we no longer need to have the general electric power. But if we do have to have it, we have to understand the biggest pig is under the ground. Bell. They run a 7-number system. Okay, they say B11. B is the second letter. E is the 5th letter. Number 52 says Earth. Number 52 says 6. Number 52 says Heart. 25, 625, which is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, or 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 equals 25, 625 in the Mayan count. The 4 railroads of 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 is 625 times AD, which is 1 and 4, or 41. Dada says you don't go AD, you go DA, because in the first row, the 1 was there first. The 1 joined 2, hopped into number 3. They created number 4, 2 and 2 in this corner. The 1 jumped in. The E connected to the D. You had the electronic power. 41 by 625 is 25, 625. Some people say 25, 920. But 20 at the end, the 0 at the end, has to say 1 and 5 equals to 6 is 25, 926. But they're saying 25, 920 because that's the yellow soul. 25 is the earth of the yellow soul. And I showed it to you. I showed you over here the yellow that comes to the first part of pi, number 92. And when you join red and white in numbers, it becomes 92 or becomes 83. 7 and 5 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Becomes 83. 8 times 3, 8 plus 3 equals 35. Back to the pig, back to the bacon, back to connecting. Here's your 2 sausages. Connect your bacon strip, and there you go. You got an H, or you got an I, or you just put it on this angle, and pending who's looking from where is what's going to happen in the area they are. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I just want to remind you that the Baltic is the 3 dice, or the 43rd dice, 17 and 26, and the Mediterranean, everything I'm talking about is right here in Monopoly. 43 becomes the Baltic, 41 becomes the Mediterranean, 84 is the total. Barack Obama, April and August, and all the numbers keep connecting over and over and over again. The Baltic is actually the 4th position. The Mediterranean, which I always call the Mediterranean, is the 2nd position. It's 2 and 4, which regards to that become the spirit of 86. Man and his world was created in 1967, but if it's man and his world created in 67 for the spirit of 86 instead of spirit of 76, which says water. So they want to mix us up by telling us this is the 4th property. So it would be number 44. If you start at 0, Baltic becomes 44. Who rules the Baltic? Number 44, which connects me to 44. So who's ruling the Baltic? Are we actually having China go to war with the U.S.? Or are they in on it with the U.S.? Something is connected over there. I don't know the way it works yet. Because imagine this. Imagine the only thing that would come out sort of good. Imagine if we have to take down the U.S. flag and put up we have to put up an Asian flag or something from the Baltic area. A flag from the Baltic. So replace the North American flag with the flag from the Baltic. And then everybody who's working for the American flag, like Area 51 and all the armies and navies and air forces and marines, they'd all be fired. Every single man from the army would have to come home because they've now put up a Baltic army. Now the Baltic army is the clock army. Why? Because the ball ticks. So the question comes, if this world would be owned now, because they're so busy with Buddha and that pig out there, what do they believe and which side are they on? So there's a whole big thing going on. But in general, out of 7 billion people on this planet, every single one would rather have peace. There's only a few thousand that would rather have the opposite. Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.